a quick video to challenge you, to submit a theory to you. Here's what I believe. I believe at this point, and I never really thought about this till today, I don't think that the biggest problem is that you're losing your hair at a young age. I think the biggest problem is that you are not prepared for it as someone of my years is prepared for it. Because no one has to tell you that the older you get, granted the more life experience you get, the more mature you get, the more times you've been told no in your life, the more times you've failed in life. So what happens is you go from a bright-eyed Luke Skywalker to a gruffly Han Solo, and like me, and maybe even lean towards Darth Vader at some point. You don't even see yourself as a good person anymore, but you see yourself as, I've lived life now. I've made it through all that. Well, I can definitely make it along with the fact that I'm losing my hair, okay? And so the real problem is that if you're young, if you're 21 and you've got less hair than I do, you can't be prepared psychologically like I am, because I feel that my hair loss, I'm prepared for it because of my life experience and maturity level and all that stuff. I'm prepared for this. You're not prepared for this in your 20s. You're not, and you can't be. You know, and so that's why my videos, the whole intention is to help you get a little bit of what's going on in my brain and transfer it over to you. Because yeah, you can continue looking for a cure for hair loss that's not really there. You can pay someone to give you a hair transplant, take Rogaine, and it in a sense makes you feel like it's curing hair loss. It's not actually curing the thing. Just let me share this comment. I think this sums it up. This is a comment that I got on a video I made called "You Can Go Bald and Still Be Happy, or Never Lose Your Hair and Always Be Miserable." My new friend Steve M had this to say, quote, "Facts. I think a major part of this is being immature in general, and hair loss can just make it worse. If you don't ever grow up and realize the world doesn't owe you anything and that it's your responsibility to make something, you're going to be very miserable in life, I think, regardless of how much hair you have. As many people you can point to that have it better than you, there's just as many out there who have it way worse. I could look at things this way, receding hairline at 23, or I could look at it like, I live in America, so right off the bat, my quality of life is better than about 60% of the world without trying. It's perspective, really. I could have a perfect hairline, but live in sub-Saharan Africa without access to clean water or food, right? Chronic negative thinking never leads anywhere positive from my experience," end quote. And yeah, I mean, I used to talk about all the time on my channel about how you have to choose to be victorious. Otherwise, the default is that you see yourself as the victim. So again, what I believe is that the real issue isn't the fact that you're losing your hair. It's that you don't yet have the mental capacity that a guy of my age does. Because I think it's fair to say that with my level of hair loss that I've got at age 37, the maturity that comes with being married for a decade and having 2 kids and going through real jobs and paying bills and all that stuff that comes with all the experience so far, it's prepared me for something as seemingly trivial as hair loss at this age. My age, my experience, my maturity matches my hair loss, if not to my advantage. You can't say that when you're 20 years old. That is the biggest disadvantage that you have. Because if you are prepared for it, like I am, but if you could be prepared for it at age 20, imagine how much better your life would be for everything else that's going to happen, as life itself will beat you down. What do you think about that? Can you follow me? Can you track with me on that concept? That the real issue is that you're not prepared for this thing that's happening to you at a young age, whereas my hair loss matches my life experience and I'm prepared to cope with it to where it's just not a deal to me. And that ultimately the biggest irony is you've got a guy like me trying to help you, even though I can never relate to that. But I am recognizing this fundamental issue. What do you think about that? Comment section exists for a reason. It's for you to leave one, and for maybe me to make another video about that comment.